Mike's taking us down to check out all the cool stuff he's got on his property here.
700 pounds, $1.5 million.
Oh, wow.
Building the next version of the Hydra now.
This is impressive.
So basically, I'll give you the 5-minute tour here.
Sounds good.
All right. You're looking at a fairly significant section of my generating capacity. It generates all of my energy. This is cooking gas, heating gas, fuel for my vehicle, all my energy needs.
Awesome.
So anything that can be done with fossil fuel can be done with hydrogen.
Of course.
The house has been running for going on 5 years now with almost no maintenance whatsoever. Just changing the filters out. The solar system itself is pretty much maintenance free.
Now the solar panel, that whole process of creating the hydrogen, it's essentially splitting water molecules
into its base elements, H2O.
Right.
80% of every molecule in the universe is hydrogen. All right, 2/3 of the planet here is water.
Right.
Hydrogen isn't found naturally in the environment, so we have to split it, and it takes energy to split it.
And that's what the solar's for.
And that's what the solar's for. The problem with renewable energy is that, you can't store it. There's tons of stories that, the windmills and solar systems are shutting down because the grid can't accept it. All right. And batteries are big, they're expensive, they're heavy, and they only last 5 years, and they're not good in different environments. Hydrogen is forever. There's no shelf life. It's as good today as it'll be 100 million years from now. If you have a leak with hydrogen, it's safer than any fuel we currently know. 45 miles an hour into outer space. Hydrogen and helium are the only two gases that leave the planet.
Now this kind of, I guess, like almost a closed loop system.
This is a closed loop system. The energy here, when I need it, the months that my solar system won't keep up is December, January, February, and part of March. Okay? In those months, I siphon off the hydrogen that I stored April, May, and June, and part of July, and I run it through the fuel cell in the dead of winter when my panels are covered with snow, and I generate electricity, heat, and chemically pure water.
Water that's one of the awesome byproducts of using the hydrogen to create energy is the only waste product is clean water.
Well, you got to understand, nothing gets consumed in this system, all right, and nothing gets transported. So basically, the water we start with is the water we end with. So we keep reusing the water. So the water, we use the water to make the hydrogen. All right, when we make the hydrogen again, we get the water back. We run it back through the electrolyzer again, so it's a continuous loop. So this is a self-sustaining system.
Hypothetically, hook this up to like a rainwater catchment, and then have clean water year-round.
Absolutely. I tried to reuse everything I could in this system, or use stuff that was stock in order to keep the prices down. These are used propane tanks, basically 1969 vintage.
Really?
Yeah. And since they have hydrogen in them, there's no degradation of the tank, and propane doesn't degrade the tank either.
Right.
So these are just recycled tanks.
Wow.
And if I need more storage, I just add more. So you're looking at 45 days worth of storage here. The technology now, this was done almost 5 years ago. The technology now is high pressure. So I can take all of these tanks and put them into a space that's one tank, 6 foot long, 2 foot in diameter. Store the same amount of hydrogen, under 5,000 pounds instead of 200. Yeah. This is the way we're going to save this planet. But it takes a huge mindset. I mean, right now, this is very disruptive technology. How do you tax free? The powers that be are making too much money over the existing system to want to change it, no matter how good it is for the planet.
That's crazy.
When a military goes to war, there's things called acceptable casualties. One of those acceptable casualties is my son or daughter, or your relatives. It's not acceptable.
On either side.
Renewable energy on either side. No. Renewable energy is homeland security.
Now, I don't know how comfortable you are saying this on camera, but I would like, since we're taking kind of an activist stance with our website, you'd mentioned in Manioc that you've even received, death threats for this technology?
Yeah. Absolutely.
From utilities companies and things like that?
People who have monopolies.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane. Now, we've come across other people that are making big leaps forward in the green revolution.
Picture having a holistic cure for cancer, and you're about to release it free to the world. There'll be a hit on you by the drug companies. You're not going to last 10 minutes.
In a second. So
life means nothing against the almighty dollar.
Right.
I mean, you talk about conspiracy theories. This is just logic and human nature. And you look what's happened in the past. You know, why do we go to war with other countries? We want their natural resources.
Yep. That's it.
You know, there was no weapons of mass destruction in the last war. It was a war over oil. So, controlling the resources, putting our people in place. The fuel cell, you can see here, is at the end. And the fuel cell, basically, it's an outdoor unit. Can you see it right here? It's connected to the tanks. There's an underground pipeline.
Okay.
All right, and this is a push-pull system. The electrolyzer pushes into the tanks, and the fuel cell takes it back out of the same. And it's all automated, so I don't have to do anything. And I'll actually give you a demonstration on how all that works. Right? Okay. And this technology is adaptable to everything: boats, cars, planes, you know, anything you can think of. And you can burn hydrogen in appliances, cooking gas, heating gas, you know, whatever you can burn. Whatever you burn, you know, fossil fuel for, you can burn hydrogen. And the nice thing about hydrogen, there's no carbon in it. So no CO2, no HC, no NOx.
It burns a little hotter too.
Well, you're going to get to see that. But yeah, when you burn hydrogen, you get water.
Right.
So that's the emission. So you can burn this inside with no venting.
Right.
And you get 100% of the heat because you don't have to vent 20 to 50% out the stack.
Right. Unbelievable.
But this is a very radical way of thinking. This is very disruptive. But it's the right thing to do.
It is the right thing to do.
The right thing to do. This is the unit here that splits hydrogen and oxygen from the excess solar. Right now we're putting out 193 pounds. And my tanks are 171, so I'm almost full.
Not fast.
So this unit just sits there, and it takes chemically pure water. There's a reverse osmosis and DI that comes from the well. So it puts that water into this machine. This machine splits it. Oxygen goes off. I actually think I got the oxygen here. Yeah, this is pure oxygen out.
Oh yeah?
Okay, you can smell it. That's 100% pure oxygen. This is medical grade oxygen.
That's good.
So I can have a little oxygen bar here.
Yeah, right?
I think that would be good in
medical grade oxygen.
I was going to say in hospitals.
Yeah. So if you use one of the hydras and stuff for disaster relief, you can provide medical grade to the hospital.
Water and oxygen and...
Or you'll be all good to go 20 years from now when the world's completely polluted. You'll have fresh oxygen in your house.
Fuel cells here, you can feel how warm it is. So the heat from this heats the building. So excess heat goes to heat the building. We use the water again. We can remake more hydrogen. You know, put it right back into the electrolyzer again. And then this generates electricity. Here's the inverter in here that feeds it all back. So this is a continuous loop.
Yeah.
You know, no propane truck, no gasoline trucks, nothing gets delivered. And nothing gets consumed except for the sunlight. No sunlight, we're all dead.
Checking out the goodies.
Lots of goodies for kids. My electric / fuel cell motorcycle.
Okay.
So this is all being charged off of solar. So I have a fuel cell drop-in that drops right in. This is burning at 10,000 degrees. I'll shut the lights off.
10,000 degrees?
Yeah, propane burns at around 2. That natural gas. You can feel the tremendous heat that gives.
Won't be waiting a half hour to cook my bacon with that.
No. No, and that's actually glowing stainless steel, and you see the vapor that's going across the top? That's actually creating water.